The Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
My friends, in our last session, the Golden Shears followed the hideous advice of an ascendant priest of Nerul, traveling down the ash-covered road, determined to find the Vistani camp and speak with the seer, Madame Eva Blackwood. Even with a glimmer of hope and a bit of a pep talk from Alrin, dread hung over the party like a funeral shroud. Onward they traveled, ascending a desolate foothill, round rock and bramble over cracked earth and scrub, until arriving at a pair of ominous lanterns that sparked to life, leading them to a hilltop camp. The Vistani there welcomed them warmly, calling each of our heroes by name and sharing music, stew, and wine. They recounted the tale of the Queen of Shadow, betrayed by Countess Jetsock and imprisoned in a relic known as the Shadow Heart, thus cursing the Shadowlands and pledging them in service to the Horned Ones. Now, at their request, Nori summoned her dark sword, and they were taken aback by the dark beauty of the Shadow Fang, a curious name they called Nori's sword, and the first she'd heard it uttered. So too did the Vistani warn Nori against consuming those delicious, savory dream pies peddled by old Granny Morgan, a fiend with nefarious intent, falling, as it were, on deaf ears, we would later learn. Nevertheless, after all of this merriment around the campfire and storytelling, the party was shown to Madame Eva's carriage. Pleasantries were exchanged, and Eva revealed much to the party, details about the Fortress of Memories, filled with echoes of the past and trapped souls. The Countess's plot to weaponize these souls against other realms. The Shadowheart relic, which currently entraps the Queen of Shadow's power. And, bonus, Eva revealed that it could be destroyed. She described a ritual that could be used to crack, shatter the Shadowheart, requiring items. The Eclipsing Shard, Tears of the Forsaken, Blood of the Valiant, the Void Flame, and Death's Head. She gave Nori a sealed scroll with an incantation for the ceremony, warning that they had but one chance to succeed. To fail would mean doom, and not only for them in their quest in this place, the Shadowlands, but perhaps for other planes and other worlds connected to this one. So with all that in mind, the party bid Eva goodnight, stepped back into the night, and the welcoming embrace of the Vistani. Music and wine were shared into the night, each party member preparing themselves for what lay ahead, restocking supplies, bolstering defenses, and gathering information to aid in their quest. But off in a dark corner, in the shadows of the Vistani camp, away from prying eyes, Nori Bibblespark ate pie, falling into a deep slumber, enjoying and experiencing a wonderful dream. A dream of her brother Nalvin, in a joyous moment of them playing, a memory of their shenanigans in the old barn. A little roughhousing. It felt soothing until Nori realized that the safety of the farm melted away. The vision of the barn and her brother disappearing quickly as she realized that she was in a different place. A place where she encountered a shadowy, dark version of herself, wiping a blade drenched in blood upon their pant leg, stepping aside. Nori, looking, you see your brother's lifeless body laying on the ground. And with that, the shadowy Nori, this dark reflection of yourself, poised in a battle stance, bringing Shadowfang in all of its shadowy glory up and charging towards you. Now, as they run towards you, they close the distance, Nori, in moments, almost unnaturally so. You feel this stinging sensation of a slice across your neck. With your hands, you reach up and you feel blood beginning to seep between your fingers. What do? First, unmute yourself and then tell us, my friend.
Summon my own Shadowfang.
The Shadowfang erupts into your hand.
I'll turn around. I'm assuming they kind of went by me and sliced me. I will face them.
They ran past you, slicing you across your neck. As blood drips, you summon your sword and you turn around and they are nowhere to be seen.
Run over to the body.
As you take the first steps, you hear something, and out of the corner of your eye, you see the shadowy figure come back at you, slicing again across your chest. You feel the sting of the blade, and then they disappear into shadow. You race forward. When you close the distance, you make it to where your brother lies on the ground. What do?
I shake him. Wake up. Now. This can't be what's happening right now.
You shake the lifeless body of your brother. You see a massive wound on his chest that festers with a shadow. Small tendrils sneaking their way out from the open wound as it bleeds onto the parched ground. You hear sound from behind as you turn and look over your shoulder, and you see this dark shadow of yourself coming in for a killing blow as it's swinging Shadowfang down towards your neck, and all goes black. You find yourself waking from the dream. You can hear voices. You hear the voices of Xanthi and Desmond. You hear the voices of Sergi and Ilana.
I look at the sword. Has it got blood on it?
You summon your sword again.
Mm-hmm.
Your sword does not have blood on it when you summon it. The rest of you have been up for a bit of time, letting Nori maybe sleep off, perhaps the bit of, merriment that was partaken in the previous night. Elena and Sergi are speaking with you. We've made our preparations to depart. We hope that you will find a safe passage on your quest. It will be dangerous. We have something for you. Nora, you are kind of pulling yourself up as you see them pull out a small box, intricate box that has beautiful wooden carvings on it. And as they flip the box open, you can see that there are small potion vials inside. These are quite rare in these realms. These are potions of healing magic. One for each of you. And they hand one to Xanthi, Desmond, Alrin, and Nori. As you step up, they hand you one as well. Are you okay, dear? Are you okay? Elena says to you, Nori, as you step up.
No, no, not right now.
The rest of you see that Nori is visibly upset.
Gosh, what happened? Are you okay?
I'm not okay. No. Remember what we talked about before? What
We
kind of
talked
information?
about a lot of different things.
What kind of information you can take out of a dream? How much of it was real? Is someone trying to send you a message? Are you reliving a memory? I had a terrible dream.
Well, at least you didn't eat any more of that pie, though.
Did you eat any more of that pie?
Is everybody around here right now?
The only people that you see right now are Elena and Sergi, who are standing there with you.
No, I didn't eat the pie. I had a terrible dream.
Probably just this place then. And all the stress.
I think that's all it is.
Okay, like what was your dream about? Because, you know, sometimes dreams can be prophetic, you know?
What? No. We can't. When we're alone, I'll tell you. I'm sorry, you guys, and I'll turn to the other Vistani. I don't want to keep secrets, but it's too bad to share with strangers. I can't.
Well, we understand it is not for us to know. This is your burden to bear. You are obviously troubled, but we do not pry. We understand.
What do you guys...
We will continue with our preparations to leave. The mists are gathering about, and it is time for us to depart.
Before you depart, what do you think of dreams? Do you ever think that they could actually have happened or going to happen? Or is it just your mind reworking something into something that never happened?
Well, dreams can mean many things, Nori. In Vistani culture, dreams can be quite telling of things that are on someone's mind or things that perhaps they are not willing to accept in their waking life, things that perhaps are troubling to them. It's a way of processing things that have happened, perhaps. Sometimes they're about sex, and that's just about it, you know?
I wish it was about sex. I would kill for a dream of a dwarf right now, but...
Oh, yeah?
It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't good. I hope it's not prophetic, and I hope it's not actually something that happened before. But I don't know at this point. Maybe I just need to take a couple deep breaths and try not to think about it for now. It's not going to do us any good, right, you guys? Why dwell on something that definitely didn't happen or isn't going to happen?
Right.
Nori, when you said that you did not eat the pie, I would like you to make a deception check, please.
Okay. Shit, that was... Natural 20. So, 27.
Nice.
So
okay.
Convincing.
Yeah, Nori would never lie to us.
I would never
right.
lie to you,
Forever.
especially not about a drug pie. Cursed
that would
AF.
be, you know, a betrayal of trust. And we have a friendship that is so good.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Yeah. Well, okay then. We'll gather our things. Good luck with everything. You watch as the wagons are hitched to their horses. The first to depart the campsite being the wagon of Madame Eva. The others following, Sergi and Alina at the tail end. bidding you goodbye as they are enveloped in shadow and mists that seem to float heavy on the air. As they fade, you feel this sort of chill in the air and a silence that envelops everything around you. But the silence doesn't last for more than a moment. You hear this fearsome, far-off caw that echoes in the darkness, reverberates almost to your core. Less than 10 seconds later, a second caw, but it's many. It's the sound of a flock of birds. You see on the horizon, obscured by mist and shadow, a cloud of swirling black cloud that begins to grow in size.
We need to hide from them. We need to get cover.
All right. Do you see anything?
Are there some like nearby trees or something that we could go and try to hide behind?
Absolutely there are. If you would like to hide, you could go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Could I also do minor illusion cantrip, just to make it look like regular landscape bushes kind of in place of where we are? It's a
5-foot cubed area.
small cube.
It
If we squeeze together.
You could affect yourself with that, sure.
Okay, I'll take it.
Xanthi would like to change into one of the zombie creatures from before. Just be
Smart.
like a zombie, kind of milling about in some bushes.
Des got a 24 for stealth.
Okay. Nori, I'll give you advantage with the minor illusion. And Xanthi, are you just going to kind of stand there in your disguise? Or are you also kind of hiding?
I'm gonna sort of hide. I'm just gonna kind of like pretend to be a zombie, you know, just kind of aimlessly wandering.
Okay.
But in the bushes, mostly covered.
All right, give me also a stealth check.
Okay.
Nori got 21.
Okay.
4.
Oh no.
This is why I went with disguise.
Yeah.
Okay. The cloud grows larger, the sound growing louder. You can see now from where you're hidden to various effectiveness. It's no cloud. They're crows, dozens of crows, perhaps hundreds that seem to be bearing down on you. And as they get closer, you can see that from this murderous flock that's swirling itself like some sort of a coordinated bank of feathered fog comes barreling down towards you, and you see from the center these massive glowing red eyes emerge from the flock that seem to pierce through the gloom. As you've all hidden yourselves, you watch as this massive creature comes into view, a monstrous form taking shape. A creature that you might mistake as a crow, perhaps, but now much more terrifying. It's this strange, grotesque fusion of bird and insect. I'm going to bring up an image of it on the screen here. so that folks can see what we're talking about. Give me a second here. It casts a wide shadow over the spot where you stand currently, and the details are clear. Insectoid maw that's lined with these razor-like mandibles, 4 clawed feet that are grasping at the air as it barrels down towards you with menacing strength, and this cluster of red, malevolent, glowing eyes. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Dave, am I still hidden?
From like, when you mean when you just hid?
In my, yeah, was I successful in my hiding?
You think you were, but you don't know for sure.
Okay.
All you did was take cover and roll a die, so you're not 100% sure at this point.
Okay.
All right, give me a second here. All right, I'm bringing up a map, you guys. You kind of stand on, you're standing on this hilltop. As you see this thing coming into view. All right, 25 to 20 for initiative. 15 to 20.
Des got a 15.
Okay. 10 to 15.
I got a 10.
All right. Nori, what'd you get?
A 6.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you guys go ahead and place your tokens just within maybe like definitely within 30 feet of where you are right now, and put yourself down on the map where you think you would be hiding. Trying to hide.
I would say, yeah, he cleared out of this. Yeah.
Oops.
Okay. 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 At the top of the order, this thing closes the distance, flying ridiculously fast towards you. Let's see here. Swarms of crows and a massive creature. Somebody give me a D20. Xanthi, give me a D20 roll, please, real quick. Okay. All right. This thing is going to fly in and perch upon this tree here as these swarms of crows fly in. One of them coming down to perch right above you, Xanthi, and they start cawing at you. Another flying and landing in the tree above Alren. This other one soaring across, looking for, it appears as though it's looking for Desmond and Nori, perhaps, or just scanning the area. This massive creature, you watch, anybody who watches this thing land, you can see how the branches of the tree seem to almost sag under its weight, as if perhaps ready to snap. It calls out with this massive, loud caw, and all of these other flocks of crows begin to call out in a piercing shrill. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Desmond?
On 18.
Okay. Nori?
8.
Okay. Xanthi?
13.
Okay. Nori, you take 3 points of psychic damage, and you cry out, crying in pain from the piercing, like, attack on your senses. Your vision goes white for a minute, but you're able to pull it back in, and you get the sense that these creatures know where you are as the swarms of crows look to your position. Desmond, what are you going to do? You get the sense that you're fairly well hidden, but that your friend Nori is not.
Yeah, if I see these things kind of turn round and round on Nori, I'm gonna risk losing my hiding spot and take a shot at him with my crossbow.
Yeah, that will definitely expose you.
But am I correct in assuming that I am attacking from a hidden location, because that matters in terms of my sneak attack?
Yep,
okay.
For sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Plus 25 to hit.
I'm sorry, what are you shooting at?
The crows that are kind of between Nori and I.
Number 1.
Yeah, they're all numbered. The swarms are numbered. Okay, number 1.
Sorry.
Got you. No worries. Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits. Great shot. Give me some damage.
All right, that's 18 piercing.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you watch as your arrow goes into this swarm and actually drops 3 of the ravens, drop to the ground, flapping and fluttering as they call out, cawing, and then go lifeless.
Okay.
But just for clarification, the swarm is still in the sky searching.
Right. I'd like to bonus action attempt to hide again.
Sure. It's going to be extremely high DC.
Okay. Uh, 29.
Okay. That's a pretty high roll. Nicely done. All right. Anything else, Desmond?
Stealthy.
That's your action and your bonus action. We'll go to Xanthi next.
Oh man. So I take it like the jig is up, or?
Well, you heard Nori cry out in pain. You felt, you heard the massive caw of this creature and the resounding echo amongst the swarms. There's a swarm perched in a tree above you. There's a swarm, there's 3 swarms perched in trees and 1 swarm that seems to be honing in on Nori.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend to fall into some bushes, trip and fall as a zombie, and then I'm gonna roll over and flame the ones in the tree above me so that maybe they can't tell that it was me.
Okay. So let's see, that tree, there's a bit of a ledge here. So where do you want to try to fall? Like just right where you're standing?
So I kind of want to fall into that bush and
Gotcha.
then to obscure what's going on. Was it the zombie who cast that? Or,
right.
And then I'm going to cast
that.
Yep,
go ahead and make the roll.
Okay. I would like to do it with advantage because I'm always so sad when it doesn't make it.
Okay.
All right. Like that one would have. All right. So does 15 hit?
It does. Nice. Roll some fire
16
damage.
points of fire damage.
Wow,
bursts
nice.
into that flock in the tree.
Yeah, burning a bunch of them as they start to fly off. Some of them start to fly off from the tree with flames on their wings, and they just dive bomb into the mists surrounding this campsite. Anything else from Xanthi?
If I can kind of like crawl a little bit away from where I am so I'm not exactly in the same place, that would be great.
Yeah, you still have some movement for sure.
Sure. Is this it? So you said this was a cliff?
Yeah, there's a bit of a drop there, probably a 5-foot drop.
Okay.
Along that little ridge.
That I might crawl closer to Des.
Okay.
Just barrel crawling.
Got you. Okay, great. That brings us to Nori.
Nori's aware that Xanthi the zombie is crawling behind her, and I think she wants to draw any fire away from her friend, so she's gonna run out here. Just being obvious that she's here, and she will start swinging at swarm number 1 if she can reach it. Are they up?
They are in the air right now. You could try to jump and get them. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but you could give it a try. Give me an acrobatics check, or you could use ranged if you want to have more of a more potential to hit them.
Yeah, if you throw your sword, would it like just come back into your hand?
That would be cool, but that has never been something that I've done. Would I have to do the acrobatics check both times I jump for my 2 attacks around?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably what I would do anyway. I'm trying to kind of be a spectacle. It's a 12 for acrobatics.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Okay. That's a 13.
That will not hit.
Okay. I'll take my second attack, acrobatics first.
Okay.
That's a 13.
Okay.
Acrobatics and 15.
That will hit.
Hits.
Yep.
Or 12 damage.
Okay. Yeah. You drop these things out of the sky.
You're gonna also see Nori. It's almost like subconscious, I think. She is wiping bird blood off of her sword on her pants.
I love it. Okay. That will bring us to the top of the order. We're just going to say Alrin is off fighting these other ravens. That brings us to the big guy. Seeing what's happening, is going to fly in, flapping these massive wings. Nori, you turn as you drop this swarm of crows, wiping the blade off on your clothing as you turn to face this sound of swoop, the wings flapping, coming towards you. And this thing is going to make a couple of attacks at you. It's going to make 2 claw attacks. It's going to miss with a 11. I'm pretty sure misses. Second attack. That's going to be an 18.
Meets.
Okay. So that is going to be 11 slashing damage. And then as it slashes into you, its claws raking across your chest, it kind of grabs onto you with its front talons and reaches in to try to bite you with its mandibles. 23.
Cool.
for an additional 15 points of piercing damage. I need you to make a, or actually you are grappled at this point in its mandibles. The rest of you guys are watching this as this thing starts to pick Nori up as if
Nori's
it's about to fly away.
By the way.
Oh.
I have been rendered unconscious.
Oh shit. Oh. All right. Meanwhile, this group of birds is going to fly over the top of both Xanthi and Desmond as it goes over to where Alrin is trying to hide. This other group just sits and caws. They're calling very loudly as if alarm calling. We'll go to Desmond next.
All right, seeing what happened to Nori, Des is going to spring out of his hiding spot and take a shot at that big guy.
Okay. You might be thinking to yourself, what are things that I can do that make it drop my friend before it flies away?
Yeah. Is it holding it? Is it holding her with like a limb or something like that?
It's holding her by the torso in its huge mandibles.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Well, I'm just gonna shoot for the face then. Or Des will. It's 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, that's 15 piercing.
Thank you, Dennis. I don't know what's up, but I appreciate you keeping an eye on things. All right, what was the attack? Sorry.
15 piercing.
Okay, got it.
And then could I try to bonus action telekinetic shove like her off the creature?
Technically, you could try it, but it's very unlikely to work because of the way that particular feature is written, and she is currently grappled. So unless it can,
if she's grappled, then never mind. Yeah. Never mind. That wouldn't work. Okay.
But it's possible that you might try that. But it's probably not going to work.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just going to move then. I'm going to start coming out around this way.
Okay. All right, is that the end of your turn? You're making yourself visible, obviously, to all the creatures and everything. Okay, cool. Xanthi.
Can I get within 30 feet of Nori?
Yeah, right now this thing is like standing on the ground with Nori in its mandibles, so you're already within 30 feet.
Okay. Then I would like to use my metamagic distance spell to increase a touch spell to 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to cast, Cure Wounds at, I'll do second level on Nori. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. That's something else. I wish that were it. Nope.
Don't orb me.
That's something else. I'm having a problem.
I don't
Too
want to
many
be
buttons,
orbed.
man. 14 points of healing.
Nice.
Thank you. Very good.
I got it eventually.
Whoa. Yeah.
Nor you come to in that moment and you are feeling the piercing pain around your abdomen. You still somehow have the Shadow Fang grasped in your hand, but you are definitely sort of like limp in this creature's maw. Anything else from Xanthi? Do you want to move or anything?
Yeah, she's gonna tuck and roll like to the other side of this bush.
Okay. All right. A rolling zombie. I love it. All right, Nori.
Yeah.
Zombie was an acrobat.
I'm gonna do some swings right here. It's right here, so I will try to like slash off its mandibles.
Yeah, you're definitely still grappled right now, and you are, as a result, you're also restrained. So your rolls are going to be at disadvantage right now.
Okay, then instead, first my bonus action is going to be Misty Step. And
There we
I will
go.
get out of here.
Okay.
Just maybe I Misty Step like just over on the other side of it. It's 30 feet, but
nice.
Just outside of the mandibles. And now I will take some swings.
All right.
Without disadvantage. Oh yeah. So that is a 22 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
For 7 damage on the first hit. Second swing is 17 to hit.
Oh, nice.
Ugh,
that will hit.
Terrible. That's 6 damage.
Okay.
I gotta get this hex rolling. That's my turn.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll stay right here. That's my turn.
Okay. Let's see. Things are happening over here with Alrin. And you hear this massive thunder wave sound from where Alrin is, and you watch as these crows scatter, feathers just going in all directions. All right. That brings us back to the top of the order. Desmond, a swarm of crows comes up behind you and is going to make a beak attack as a group against you.
Okay.
Oh, I just rolled a natural 20. Better on these guys than on the big guy. So a total of 24 to hit. They still do some decent damage, but we'll see.
I'm going to use my reaction, actually.
Okay, so the total was 13.
Okay, I'm going to use my uncanny dodge reaction to have that.
Okay.
So that was 13, you said?
Yep, 13 points.
So total of 6 damage?
That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Nori, this thing turns as you hit it with your sword and is going to make 2 claw attacks at you. First one is going to miss with a 13. Second one is going to 16 doesn't hit you, right?
No.
And then it'll try to bite you one more time. Cocked. But yeah, it gnashes out at you and misses, and then it is going to fly up into the air to get a better view. If you want to take an attack of opportunity, Nori, you certainly can.
I do. Ooh, yes. 25 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Max damage. 13.
Okay. Very nice. Yep, this thing flies up. It's about 40 feet up in the air, just flapping its wings as it looks like it's getting ready to make another flyby attack. That brings us to Desmond.
Okay, yeah, so it's no longer near us. Okay. Des is going to just reach down, pull out his dagger, and to whisper the incantation for Green Flame Blade and make an attack on these crows that are swarming around me.
Okay.
Let's see, that is... Actually, before I roll, can I switch that to Booming Blade?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that will definitely hit.
So that is just 7 piercing and 5, I believe it's thunder damage. Yes.
Okay, so you hear this massive booming attack, a second booming sound or crack of thunder that you've heard in this battle as Alrin is off doing his thunderous things. Desmond, you drop with that attack, and the shockwave from the blade drops the rest of that swarm to the ground, and there's dead crows at your feet.
Seeing how that thing just like ran or kind of flew up in the air, he's just gonna kind of just run back towards his like original hiding spot and kind of skid to the ground behind these bushes and try to bonus action hide.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, please.
$25.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Xanthi.
Am I safe to assume these two crow groups 1 and 4 are no more?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. Xanthi is going to move. She's going to get up and 5, 10, 15, and cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
So we got to get the team together. All right.
Thanks for moving out of my area.
You cast your spell, and your guardians emerge from whatever pocket dimension they take their smoke breaks in, and you can see a couple of them tapping out their cigarettes on their heel. Ah, fucking A, here we go. Let's get them, boys.
Get ready to work.
They just kind of look at you and like, yeah, whatever. Where's the little one? Shut up, let's go to work. All right. Is that the end of your turn, Xanthi?
I think that's as far as I can get since I was kind of like laying down at the time.
Okay. All right, so that brings us to Nori.
I think Nori is gonna get low right here.
Get low.
Just kind of get low, like down on the ground, and she's gonna fire up a witch bolt.
Fun.
Cause yeah. So a bunch of purple crackly energy, I think, starts firing up out my fingers, and let's see what we get. I will be aiming at the big bird.
Got it.
Guy. That is, yeah, that's a 18 to hit.
That hits.
3d12. Nice. Okay.
Fun.
Ooh. 26 damage.
Whoa.
26 damage. Very nice.
Purple cracklies.
Yeah, this arc of lightning shoots out, blasting this massive crow-like creature. It sort of winces as it's in the air. And anything else from Nori?
Nope, but you are going to see continued crackle happening at the fingertips, and I'm just laying low, and I will be tracking the bird as it comes across.
You got it.
It hasn't gone away.
No. No, it hasn't. All right. So Alrin is doing what he can against these two swarms that are swarming him off to the side. And it brings us back to the top of the order. Nori, this thing with this crackling energy almost tethered to you and to it is going to fly towards you. coming down over the top of you with some attacks here.
I'm prone.
2 claw attacks. You're prone? Okay, so they'll be made with advantage then.
Oh, I thought the opposite was true.
No,
for
it's
ranged attack.
attacks.
For ranged attack.
So if it was like shooting something at you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not how I wanted it to go. That's
no,
fine.
That's not good. All right, well, we'll see what happens. First claw attack. Well, good news is that it's not a natural 20.
Bad news.
It's a 28.
Ugh.
Total with the first claw attack. 8 slashing damage on the first one.
Okay.
Second one is 21 to hit.
Okay.
11 points of slashing damage.
Still prone, but not crackling anymore.
Okay. And then it is going to try to bite you. Yeah, that's going to hit.
Unconscious?
Yeah, you have to kind of say that you're unconscious when you're unconscious. We can't.
Okay,
like,
I am unconscious.
All right, so that will be a critical hit.
Just gave you flavor text.
Yep, it bites into you. The sword falls from your hand, rolling across the ground as it bites into you, and this massive gout of blood sprays. You hear Nori cry out in pain and look over, and you see them lifeless as this thing is beginning to prepare to fly off with Nori again.
Just take me.
In fact, I think I will, because it still has movement. So it does start to fly off. It's about 10 feet off the ground with Nori's lifeless body in its maw. That's its turn. Let's see. The swarm of crows is going to attack Alren again and miss. And that brings us to Desmond.
All right. Des is going to just kind of spring from the bushes, and he's going to kind of reach behind him, and this glowing silver chain is going to kind of just spread out of his hand, and he's going to whip it forward, casting catapult, grabbing a nearby rock to hurl at this creature.
Okay. Nice.
Uh, 15 to hit. Fuck.
Mm-mm.
All right. He's going to start running after it, trying to track it. So, because that's all he can do right now.
You still have a bonus action.
Yeah, well, bonus actions aren't going to help too much, but...
Well, you have dash. You have... Can't you bonus action... Well, you know what you can do.
I'm going to bonus action. This might be crazy, though.
Crazy times call for crazy ideas.
How high up is this guy?
Yeah, about between 10 and 20 feet, somewhere in there, about 15 feet, let's say, off the ground.
Okay, I am going to bonus action ring of jumping and try to jump on this thing's back.
Okay.
Just so you know, I do have the stats for that.
Yeah. You can definitely get there.
Okay. Yeah, it's something like I can jump like 42 feet or something with
you don't have to worry about it. You can jump. You're going to jump right up on top of this old boy.
Hopefully it kind of grab onto his back and not the clawed end.
He was actually like a baseball.
It's flying away from you, you know, so it's like flapping away.
Hopefully kind of weigh it down so it can't get so far away.
Okay, I like it. Very cool. Very, very good idea in a crazy kind of way.
That's my bonus action in my action.
All right. Xanth, you look over your shoulder and you see your friends departing with their new pal. this
Dang it!
this creature. What do you want to do?
Okay, I mean, all right. First off, how far off the ground is the bird?
Well, at the moment which all of this is happening and Desmond lands on it, it's about 15 feet off the ground. The weight of Desmond, it was unexpected. It's going to like sort of push it down to about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, but I'm very far away from it. So I guess
you can just see this trail of blood dripping from the air from your friend Nori as it's not looking good for Nori at this moment.
Yeah,
and you can see that from where you are.
Move forward with my.
It's real bad.
I am not close enough then to cast a healing distance spell on Nori. So instead, I will firebolt the big guy.
Take it down.
Maybe.
Hit it with anything.
And gosh, I'll try to use inspiration because
you can definitely use inspiration if you have it.
Yeah. Okay. 23.
That hits.
With firebolt. Nice. 13 fire damage as the zombie just
one hell of a zombie.
Great about that.
You race over with this ring of guardians racing around about you, just very intent on killing something. You fire off your spell. It hits this creature. Desmond catches just a little bit of the sort of turbulence as it tries to like steady itself. Nori's blood dripping all over the ground. Your little spirit guardian's like, nah, don't let him kill her. That's our job. Come on now. They look like they want to be the ones to deal the killing blow on Nori. That brings us to Nori. Now, Nori, you did take a critical hit while you were unconscious, which is unfortunate because that's 2 failed death saves.
Oh, God.
Like 1 left.
You want to roll a 10 or higher.
You got it. Cause
you got any advantages? Can I give Nori one of mine?
I don't, but I have hero coins. So.
Oh, okay.
Multiple hero coins.
Is it
1? You have 1 hero coin.
Okay, I have 1 hero coin.
Yep.
At the moment. Today.
Correct.
So I'm going to roll. Here we go.
Does the hero coin make an auto success? What is the hero coin?
You can re-roll.
No, you can re-roll.
It's a re-roll.
Yep.
Okay. So I'd have another chance.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Natural 20.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Meant to be.
Wow. Very cool.
No.
All right.
I think my queen is looking out for me.
Possibly. You come to blood draining from your body, your sword not in your hand, laying on the ground behind you. You look up and you can just see the underside of this black obsidian feathered creature as it is flying away. But you are conscious, which is outrageous and so cool. Yep. Alrin, seeing what's happening, is going to risk an attack of opportunity by this swarm of crows, and he's going to take some damage as a result. Okay. And then he is going to race. He's going to get close as he can to you, and he is going to call out. I think he can make this work. He can use Healing Word for a total of 7 hit points, Nori, on you. And that brings us to their turn. So first things first, this swarm is going to chase down Alrin, take another attack on him. is going to hit him. Okay. And then it is this creature's turn. It is going to try to throw you, Desmond. So let's do an opposed athletics check. Rollies.
I'm going to use my one and only advantage for this part.
Okay.
Right.
9.
Strength?
Yep. Athletics.
Drop the dice, sorry. Athletics 14.
Yep,
yeah,
you
14.
managed to stay on.
All right.
And this creature with you and everyone else is flying off. It is gaining elevation. So it's with the weight of you on it, which isn't helpful to it, it is flying away. Nori grasping its talons, you on its back, holding on for dear life. It's 20 feet up in the air at this point. And we'll go to Desmond. It's your turn.
Okay, Des is going to pull out one of his short swords and just try to drive it right into this thing's side.
Okay.
And hopefully hit something important. Before he does that, he's going to cast Booming Blade. Let's see, that will be wrong page. This 25 to hit.
Yep, definitely hits.
Okay, that's sorry. Oh. 25 piercing plus 4 thunder damage. And if this thing is moving, Des is then going to bonus action disengage and jump off of its back.
Okay. Give me an athletics check as you jump off from 20 feet in the air.
Can I do acrobatics?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 19.
Very cool. Yeah, you stab it and then you jump off and land 20 feet below. Not taking any damage. It's a rough landing, but you're okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Now, I don't know when this would take effect, but technically if that thing's moving away from me, it's going to take extra thunder damage.
It would probably take effect right away because it's moving, as you jump off of it, it's moving away from you.
Okay, so it's going to take an extra 2d8 thunder damage for the booming blade.
Okay.
And that's nice. 2 7s, 14 extra thunder damage.
Very nice.
That's just the bird, right? Not a creature that's... I'm being held by it too, right, still?
Yeah, you're in its
that's
talons.
The thing that's carrying you.
Yeah. So...
It's targeted on what he stabs.
Yeah, it's whatever gets attacked with my melee attack.
Yep. So you're okay. All right, Desmond, that's the end of your turn. Xanthi.
Yep.
You see all this happen, Desmond jumping off as the bird is flying off with Nori.
She's going to try to firebolt the bird again. I have a range of 120 feet.
Okay.
So...
Can definitely hit it.
22?
Hits.
For 18 fire damage.
Ooh. Very nice.
And then I would like to move my horde over here so that the flock of birds around Alrin will start their turn in my sphere of death.
You got it. Okay. As all that happens, you blast this massive crow-like creature with this firebolt. The flames just ripple across its feathers, burning them to a crisp, and it drops. Nori, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, as you're falling 20 feet. And it flies off. Unsteadily, I might say. 16?
Yep.
Okay. You are going to take only 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall to the ground, smacking into the ground as this thing flies off into the darkness. This last group of ravens, go ahead and roll your damage, Xanthi. I'll make a wisdom save. They are not super wise, but I did get a 13.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I rolled a total of 9 damage, so I rolled real bad.
9 points of damage.
Yeah.
Did they save or not save?
13.
They didn't save.
Okay.
So, they take the full
damage.
9.
All right. So that's all that it takes for them as they go down. And for the moment, all is silent. The incessant caw, the calls, the alarm calls of these birds has been silenced. This massive winged terror is gone. And the four of you are left in the silence atop this hill.
Is this thing further than like 300 feet away now? Is this thing just totally gone?
Yeah, it's totally gone.
Okay.
That certainly could have gone better, and Nori's wiping blood out of every single
Nori,
orifice she has on her face.
Are you okay?
Okay is relative.
Help her up.
I look pretty bad, just say. But I can stand up.
All right, I think we should get out of here.
I'm gonna drink that potion.
That thing.
This is ridiculous. I cannot drop again. And I'm gonna look over at Xanthi, see if she's looking at me. Or if she's doing something else.
Sorry, I'm just getting rid of these crows around Alrin. Do you need a heal?
Okay, yes. When you're done, I'll put the bottle back, the potion back.
Okay, all right, come over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's
gonna
stagger over to you.
Cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level for 12 points of healing.
Nice.
Very good.
Be healed. Feels real gross.
Doesn't feel good, but
what?
It feels better than death.
Yes, and I think I sort of saw the light for a second.
Yeah, we thought we lost you.
You're saying it was light, so that was like a good thing, like.
It was a red light, though.
Oh, like the fires of hell. Okay. That's disappointing, but
Or
not unexpected.
District where all the parties happen. Who's to say? Everyone's heaven is different. But I'm glad I'm not there. Thank you, Xanthi. And Des. That was... I don't know how you got on that bird.
I jumped. I'm glad I didn't miss. Wow.
Gosh, I wish I would have seen it.
We should really get going. I don't think we should stick around here.
No.
It saw us.
Yeah.
It saw us. We made a lot of noise.
I think we should try to get to, the House of Black Lanterns again, because at least we can rest there and nothing attacked us in the night.
I think we should get there too. I guess we kind of need to just think about getting there. I mean, it just showed up last time.
Okay.
Anywhere but here.
Well, maybe we just move and think about it. Just leave this area.
Mm-hmm.
All in.
Stop picking through the crow feathers.
Your bone one is cool. We blend.
Would we...
He looks up as he's pocketing a couple of relatively undamaged feathers. Joins you.
Would we have been able to kind of roughly determine like how we got into the Vistani camp and kind of go back that way?
I think so. I mean, the previous day you'd traveled for quite a while from the crossing, Dead Man's Cross.
Mm-hmm.
You generally are fairly competent, I think, in sort of backtracking. But why don't you go ahead and give me a survival check, Desmond?
Not great. 8.
You're not fully sure which direction it is, though you seem strangely confident that if you did, you'd know how to get there.
Great. Let's just start moving. See what we see. Can everybody move? Everybody can walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna also. Oh, I must have. I already had to have canceled my Spirit Guardian spell to heal Nori. Otherwise, it would have cost me extra.
Okay. Desmond, give me a percentage roll.
$36.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alren grabs you on the shoulder and says, "This way, not that way. You're going the wrong way."
Right. Okay. Let's get moving. Keep an eye on the sky in case that thing comes back.
Yeah. We should hide if they try to see us again. And Xanthi kind of like melts back into Xanthi form.
Or if we see any crows at all, any birds, any ravens.
Gotcha.
Hide
okay.
if we see anything, really.
Give me perception checks if you are keeping a lookout while you're traveling.
6.
1.
Perception 14.
Wow.
Got it.
Yep, nailed it.
Which is
all
lower
right.
than my passive perception.
Duly noted that you are all trying your hardest to perceive things as best you can in the moment. Okay, so you guys. It was
a lot just now.
It was a lot. It's a lot to take in. Nori was almost killed unexpectedly. All right, so you guys head off with Alrin's correction, seemingly following a path that looks like it could be the right path, although everything here kind of looks the same. It's this desolate, cracked ground with scraggly scrub-like trees and dried shrubs and grasses that struggle to grow from this parched ground, and you travel along this dusty, winding road down from the foothills that you found yourself in onto a broad plain. You travel for quite some time, and you happen across a very familiar location. There's a crossroads with 5 different directions. At the center of the crossroads is the grisly marker of the dried corpse hammered to an old signpost. From here, it's unclear which direction even if you had marked your path somehow, that doesn't necessarily suggest that that would be where the House of Lanterns is.
Nori's just gonna say, House of the Black Lanterns to the dead guy. Show us. That can't just work for the Vistani camp.
You say this, but there's no response.
Just on the off chance, it doesn't look like it has any tears or anything, right? Its eyes are sewn shut.
Yeah, so the corpse itself is like a husk. It's like a dried husk. And yeah, exactly. The eyes of this creature have been sewn shut. The skin around its face like sort of dried and shriveled back to sort of give you this sort of grin, this broken toothed grin. The best you can tell, there's very little moisture inside this thing.
Yeah, so couldn't possibly be the tears of the Forsaken. Thought I would.
And you were also kind of.
Good try.
It was a good try. You were also Xanthi would probably remember that it was revealed to you, I think, by the Vistani that this individual was a high priest of Nerul.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who was gifted with the reward of being nailed to the signpost for all eternity. It's an amazing religion, really.
Sounds like quite a reward.
Mm-hmm. So, Nora, you get the sense that that did not work the way you anticipated it working. Do you have any other thoughts or ideas as a team?
Nori is proficient in survival. Could she determine the way we came from based on like maybe broken grass or prints in the road from last night?
You look about and there are no prints. There are no scuff marks. There's no vegetation growing on the road that's been... In fact, these dusty roads, nothing grows along the roads themselves. There's even seems to be a little bit of an effect on the edge of the roadways where a lot of the vegetation is... The ground is bare of vegetation itself. There's very little by way of sign that you would be able to even look for to even warrant a roll.
Are there mists around here? Is it
misty
misty right now?
Mm-hmm.
Are the mists pointing any kind of way? Or are they just open on all 5 directions?
They're just sort of swirling in what is best described as a chaotic pattern.
Nori's gonna start walking, and she's just gonna choose a direction and start walking.
Okay. Xanthi?
And thinking about the House of Black Lanterns.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Xanthi's gonna quietly, like, under her breath, go, House of Black Lanterns, House of Black Lanterns, come on.
Thanks for the raid. Voices from the Void. Very cool handle. Welcome in. Desmond, you watch as Nori just begins to walk in a random direction, not having been given any advice from the corpse that's nailed upon the signpost. And I didn't catch that, Xanthi. Are you following Nori, or are you still standing at the signpost?
Yeah, but I'm also like, you know, I have my hands to my temple, like I'm trying to make it appear, because we've been told that you just think about it, it shows up. So she's putting that out into the world.
Gotcha. So Desmond, is there anything that you would like to do here? Basically, when the guide was asked for a direction to the House of Black Lanterns, none was given. Hey, thank you very much for the follow.
Can I mean, isn't he strapped to a signpost? Are there any signs that might be pointing the way, or any Are there identifying markings or anything?
As I described back when you guys first encountered this place, the signpost itself has been worn by the elements to the point where there's nothing legible upon the signs.
Okay.
What had happened is that you had mentioned a location, and for whatever reason, this creature had gestured in the direction of the Vistani camp. Now, as you are making a return to, attempting to make a return to the House of Black Lanterns, Nori had asked for guidance and was not given it. Not readily given it.
Actually, you know what? Xanthi's gonna stop for a moment and look up at the signpost guy and go, Jarl? Do you know where he is?
It just looks like a dead husk of a corpse on this. It doesn't seem to make any movement. You get the sense that simply asking it or telling it is not working.
Okay, you do you, man. Turns around and follows Nori.
Des is going to try to think back to when they first came through here. If they had done anything differently when, like when they were trying to figure out which way to go next.
We did murder a couple people, and then we were randomly talking about that group of people. And
we murdered a couple shadow warriors, right? Just
right, so it would have been a blood sacrifice.
I mean, murder is strong. You were defending yourself against an attack by some phantom warriors that were sent by the Countess. Yep.
And they're not really dead. They're going to come back.
They are going to be coming back for you, absolutely. In short order as well. Time is ticking. So, Desmond, you are trying to ascertain something.
Why it worked the first time?
Yeah, maybe like a... I guess I wouldn't know what that would be.
Give me an intelligence check.
All right. Yeah, 7.
Best you can ascertain is maybe you're just not speaking this guy's language, man.
All right, I don't know which way to go either. Like, we just need to keep moving.
This was a priest of Nerul?
That's what the Vistani told you, yeah.
Okay, and I mean, we know Nerul is the Countess's master.
That's what you've been told, yeah. That the Countess worships Nerul. Nerul being a god of death or winter or, the Reaper.
I mean, it was makes sense. It would be a death that might activate this. Like, we just freshly killed things. We did just freshly kill stuff again, though.
Yeah, but, you know, like, not
they were birds
next to him.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, like, alive that could be killed.
Could we kill one of your team members? Would that count?
I don't think that happens.
Could we kill them anyway? They're really annoying.
Well, I don't think they're killable. I've never seen them. I mean, the only time they disappear is when I pass out.
Should I turn him into a Nimbus? I don't know that he would help us.
Well,
I guess maybe I turned around and I see you guys. I see Des hesitating at the dead man's cross.
You see what? Sorry.
I think you're still standing there, right? You're not walking with us.
Yeah,
so
we
could have this conversation that way. I could be close.
I mean, I'm pretty much like ready to just walk with you guys, but he's just kind of trying to puzzle stuff out before they leave. Is the guy wearing any like jewelry or anything? It's just like
not really. If he had died, been put up there with any sort of holy symbols or anything of value, it probably would have been stolen or taken. You know, he's basically wearing rags, almost naked because of just the sheer force of the elements, you know, eroding not only his skin, but his clothing and the signpost.
Yeah, Des is just going to walk off after them. I don't know what's different this time, but I couldn't figure it out.
He's dead. He's not undead. Well, he just did that thing for us that one time. Maybe
we know that he did. That was given to him as a reward, right? Isn't that how the story went?
Yeah. Nice.
You're muted, Xanthi.
I don't know how that would be beneficial.
Well, when you worship a god of pain and death, I think the reward is pain and death. Right?
I mean, I guess if that's what you're into.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Maybe he just didn't say Owlbear soon enough.
Could he use the safe words?
He didn't have any good friends by him. So he used the safe
Maybe
word.
They were too good.
Get the manacles on him. Anyways.
Now you're talking.
Let's just keep going. Maybe it's this way. I don't know.
I'm always going to try one more thing. I'm going to come back up to this guy. I'll turn around and walk back. And just come up really close to him, like his face, and I'm going to whisper in his ear. My queen. We're looking for the House of Black Lanterns. Can you point us in the right way? And it's real quiet. You guys can't hear it.
Give me an Arcana check, please.
Eight.
You hear nothing. It's as if you're whispering into the void.
I'm going to summon my sword. I'm going to put it up to his chest, and I'm going to just cut him a little bit.
How deep? Like a full puncture or just a surface? We don't need to get too graphic. Unless...
surfacey. I'm not going all the way through.
Okay. Doesn't have any effect whatsoever.
I don't think I should do anything else. I want to.
That thing obviously could be protected by some kind of magic we don't know about.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't, like, believe the guy who got rewarded like that. And by the way, she'll turn to the signpost guy and say, thanks for your help before. We do appreciate it. We just don't know how to communicate with you well. have a nice sign post-life death thing.
Give me a persuasion check, please, Xanthi.
12. I roll real bad.
You feel pretty persuasive, though. Despite that, this thing, it just, whatever triggers, you get the sense that whatever it is that would trigger this strange gatekeeper to respond to you has not yet been done. You get also a sense, Nori, that thinking about your matron, the Queen of Shadow, whose powers seem to be locked away in this relic known as the Shadow Heart, that they may not be able to help you, depending on what the severity of that imprisonment is, but also that there's got to be a way. There's no way that you and your companions were brought here to this godforsaken realm of shadow to get lost on this ash-covered road in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't make sense. There's got to be something. There's got to be a way.
Are we doing something wrong? Like, how are we supposed to get to the House of Black Lanterns? Doesn't it just show up?
I think it did before. I think we just walked a while and thought about it. Are we not thinking hard enough? I'm thinking pretty hard.
I'm totally thinking my hardest.
Totally thinking hard.
You guys are thinking super hard, but you don't get the sense that that's alone is... Thinking is definitely part of it, I'm sure. But that, just thinking alone is not doing it. There's got to be something else. There's got to be a key to unlock this.
Have we drawn any of our own blood? Blood is always a thing. This is a death guy. Blood is life, though.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody want to cut themselves?
I would definitely do it.
Nori's bleeding already.
I am. I mean, maybe I just squeeze a couple of my...
Spew out for your homies.
She's got some fresh wounds from that.
Wipe some of the dried blood on the ground.
We definitely didn't do that before, though. Not here, not in front of this guy.
Yeah, we were just talking in front of him.
Did you just, once you pulled your sword, did you just ask him?
I did. I mean, I asked. The general visage.
I mean, can he even tell where? I mean, does the House of Black Lanterns just kind of hide you? So, like, people can't find you? So if we were asking for someone specific, like, Jarl or like, you know, Spagnoir, would he even know?
Forget this. I'm just gonna add him. I don't care anything about rule or she who shall not be named.
Oh, did we lose her?
Uh-oh.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can see you now.
Okay.
You just froze up for a bit.
All right, so what are you doing, Nori?
I'm gonna turn him into I'm gonna animate dead. He dead.
Okay, so you're gonna use your powers granted to you by your matron as a hexblade to animate the body of this dead priest of Nerul that is hammered and nailed to this signpost. And as you channel your energy to do so, you see as the head lifts up and it just looks around and looks expectantly at you. Its teeth, broken tooth smile looking down at you. Its hand still nailed to the signpost.
Pull yourself down from there. Show us where the House of Black Lanterns is. And your new name is Nibis 4.
One of the fingers of this creature unfurls and points down one of the dusty roads, but it does not follow your command to come down off of the post.
Well, it's down this way. Did that work?
So, I mean, he pointed. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Aren't you gonna come with us though? Because that's what all the other ones that Nori animated did.
He doesn't appear to be interested in answering every command of mine. But he did tell us what we need to know. So I release you, and I will drop the animate.
Okay. The corpse goes limp again as it hangs from the signpost, but now you have a direction of travel, and you set off at a hurried pace, following the guidance of this creature, headed towards the House of Black Lanterns. And I think this is probably a good spot to take a quick break. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons in the wonderful world of Greyhawk, which is a fantastic, gritty place to play in. We are currently in the Shadowlands, tracking down some nightmare backstory elements of one of our players here. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for the follows. Vamp Kiss, LJ, appreciate you. The Lady Venora, very classy. Lorekeeper, VFTV, thank you so much. And thanks for the raid, Voices from the Void. We will see all of you later. Give us a couple minutes to refresh our drinks and stretch our legs, and we'll be back for more fun in the wonderful world of Greyhawk. See ya. We have traveled the Shadow Realm, having met with the Vistani, having been sent off in the morning after a restful night for most, a difficult night for others. Dreams and whatnot. Drug pastries. They'll get to you. That shit catches up with you. Yeah. But here we are. Back on the road after having been attacked by swarms of crows and a massive approximation of some sort of a crow, an insect-like creature that nearly killed Nori. Like, that was really close. And I think all of you, specifically your characters, know how close that was. And in the back of your mind, I can't help but think that you are considering the fact that that was a targeted attack upon Nori. The champion, the sword bearer, referred to, I believe, as the weapon at one point of the Queen of Shadow, who is in a diametrically opposed status to the one who shall not be named, although I can say it, the Countess, who is ruling over this realm currently. So you made your way back to the Dead Man's Cross. You tried everything that you could to find the path back to the House of Black Lanterns, almost giving up, but realizing that you had somewhere within your power the ability to unlock the key that has guided you down this path. So you take this dusty road, traveling in a direction, you don't know which direction it is. It's hard to tell. But eventually you find yourself coming upon a structure that emerges from the mists. You looked there one moment, nothing, mist, darkness. Turned your head and looked back again, and there it stands. The House of Black Lanterns, 3 stories tall, massive courtyard, dozens of poles, each of them holding black lanterns that burn faintly with a dark, glowing energy. You have found your way back to the House of Black Lanterns, and as you approach the door, you can hear the sound of music, faint sound of conversation. Strangely, aside from yourselves, you've never seen anyone enter or leave. Yet there you are, standing at the door. What would you like to do, my friends?
Nori will boldly push the door open.
Door opens. You look inside and you can see the smoke, maybe a little bit of wood smoke, maybe a bit of pipe smoke. Each of you stepping into the space, a place that you've been before. You see the black-skinned tiefling behind the bar who just kind of looks up and makes a knowing nod in your direction. As the 4 of you step inside, the door closes behind you with a soft thud, and you hear a faint clicking sound. There are a few tables that are open. You look about, you see some familiar faces. You see a dark-skinned gnomish man wearing a red scarf, kind of tugging on it, blood dripping down from the scarf itself, a pile of rags in front of him as if he's trying to somehow sop up the continued gushing flow. You see a raven-haired human who has a bandolier of daggers slung over his shoulder. You see a curly, red-headed dwarven woman pounding flagons of ale with a small group. And at one of the tables, sitting alone, you see your old pal Spugnoir scribbling in a journal.
Well, should we, just go straight to ask Jarl?
I think so. He's there right now.
Des is gonna look back. Is that formless kind of pile of sludge still in the corner watching the tavern?
It is not. You look about, you do not note that creature is there anymore.
Okay.
But you also, in the back of your mind, remember that when you had come down earlier in the morning on the previous day, that there was nobody in this place. And then suddenly it was packed with people. As if they somehow showed up when you weren't looking, even though you were standing right there the entire time.
Xanthi will walk over to the bar and grab a bar stool.
Nori will follow.
Yeah, Des will follow along.
As will Alrin, the four of you kind of belly up at the bar, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You can see Jarl as he is down a little bit, ways down, handing off a flagon of ale. And he walks over to you and says, "Well, you're back then. You're not dead, as it looks. You seem to be alive and well. What brings you back this way so soon?"
Your delicious ale for one.
"Well, I can get you each one of those, all four of you." "Very well." He doesn't even wait for an answer. He just turns around and goes to the keg, the casks that are on the wall, and he pulls the tap open and pours these rich, dark ales. You can smell the hints of coffee and chocolate as they're being carried over to you and set in front of you one by one. A little bit of the ale spilling down the side of the mug as it froths over. "Well, there you go. That'll be 5 silver per ale."
All right, Xanthi reaches into her bag and gives out the 5 silver.
Well, it's per.
Per? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So it'd be 20.
Well, she's paying for
20.
hers.
Silver.
That's
Yes.
true.
Desmond's like,
Cough it up, pal.
Is that 2 gold pieces?
yes, 2 gold.
Yeah, she hands over the 2 gold pieces.
That's when you take note and you see that there's a small jar off to the side that says, "Gratuity is welcome."
She'll begrudgingly dig out some silver for tips.
There you go. "Well then, tell me, how far did you get? There's lots of things out in these Shadowlands that can be quite dangerous and turn people back."
We saw quite a few of them so far.
"And did you make it to the Vistani camp?" Which
We
should be
did.
the real question. "Well, that's good then.
Yeah,
Hopefully you learned a bit of what you needed to know."
we learned that we needed some stuff, and we don't quite know where to find some of this stuff.
"Well, let me just say this, because I can see the look in your eyes. You'd be meaning to ask me for advice, and I'll do me best to tell you what I know. But just know that what is said in this place can often be heard by the one who shall not be named. Still don't have an acronym, but we're working on it."
I mean, you named them before and nothing happened.
Well,
So
or did
I
it?
feel pretty safe. Ooh,
I'm
good call.
I
Nothing
think
happened
Maybe.
immediately.
Maybe.
To
something
you.
did, actually. We didn't notice that one patron
True.
bar until afterwards. We really like the lanterns that you have that, kind of glow when you speak.
Yes, they're quite magical. Indeed.
Yeah. Where did you get them? How do they work?
How do they work, you ask? Well, it's difficult to know exactly how they work. I didn't make them myself. I don't believe that they were crafted by mortal hands. As far as I know, miss, These are relics from a realm far beyond the understanding of even the wisest scholars in the Shadowlands. This place itself has been around for quite some time, as I mentioned. Myself and well, my partner, Kaywin, Bjorn, and Thalin, the four of us sort of keeping watch, taking care of the place. They're artifacts from perhaps a dimension of pure void. It's unclear to me what exactly they are. Why do you ask? He looks at you kind of with a raised eyebrow.
Oh, I just, they're really nice. And I was thinking, I would like to get one.
Well, the Void Flame, dear, is quite special. And what I know about it, it's brought to these parts, introduced to the Shadowlands by some unknown force. It actually allows this place here, the House of Black Lanterns, to be, well, somewhat protected from the creatures outside in the shadows.
That sounds amazing. So how do we get one?
Can we buy one from you or do something
Oh, well,
for you to get one?
that is quite a tall order. I could never part with these lanterns. In fact, they're not mine to give. Not only that, they're the only reason that this place exists. The only reason that I'm still alive.
But you have quite a few here.
I have just the perfect amount.
Is it-
Not to mention that they were not given to me to do as I will. They were bestowed upon the House of Black Lanterns by a very powerful entity.
You-
Speak up. What is it, son?
Is this an entity you can name?
I can.
Will?
I will.
How- Do you
No?
have to? Do you have to tend them in some way? Is there? I mean, could I just take a torch and put it in there and have a little void flame of my own?
Don't think that will work.
You don't know how they burn.
Well, I know that they're imbued with great magic, that the construction of the lanterns themselves, not to mention the void, come from some different realm. This entity that I might name brought them to this place. They're imbued with magic that's protective, but also that allows this place to transcend space and in time as well. This is how the House of Black Lanterns can appear where it needs to be, when it needs to be.
Well,
Right.
I mean, if you could, let us know who you got them from, maybe we could convince them to give us a lantern of our own.
It's quite possible, dear. You seem to be pretty persuasive. An individual that you'd be seeking is not one to be trifled with.
And their name would be?
At that point, Dez is going to cast message and speak to him so that others can't hear. And he's just going to say, "You can tell me. You won't have to say it out loud if you don't want to." And he'll wait for a response.
He just smiles at Xanthi. And Desmond, in your head, you hear a name. Sul Nadir. He just kind of looks at you with a raised eyebrow.
We'll
This-
just wink at him.
Individual you be looking for is dangerous, but is a deal maker. I think your friend here can tell you a bit more about who it is. I hesitate to speak the name aloud. I could help to make an introduction, perhaps.
When you say that they're dangerous, what does that mean exactly? I mean, they gave you all these lanterns for protection.
Right.
For a deal. Was that the dangerous part?
The question is why? What is it that they gain from this? It's always the question. There is no altruism in a place like this, or any place as far as I've known. People do things for others so that they can gain something, whether in the moment or in the future. This powerful fiend who knows the magics of the void flame, well, they're a deal maker, a broker of sorts. But I look at the four of yous and I think, well, you could probably make a deal. Or die trying.
Where do we find this fiend?
Well, knowledge of this type is not given freely. I could perhaps make some level of effort to reveal the location of this individual. What's in it for Jarl?
What does Jarl need? What does Jarl want?
While this is happening, Dez is casting message to both Xanthi and Nori that he has the name.
What does Jarl desire?
Jarl desires a favor. A favor from this group. Before leaving the Shadowlands, should you be lucky enough to leave, you'll be bound here until you come back to the House of Black Lanterns and fulfill my request.
that request is?
Gonna, tell us what it is?
If you like, we could... Dez is going to cast message again. And just be like, if you like, you could tell me via this method. You can respond to this message.
He responds to your message and says, cute trick. There's someone that I want disappeared. Trust me, they're not of a goodly alignment.
He'll cast it again and just say, that should be something we should be able to do within reason.
Well then, think it over. Have another ale. We've got fresh stew on the pot. If you're hungry.
We are.
I'll get you squared away. Stay in another night then.
I think so.
Yes.
We need to fix ourselves up for what's ahead.
You look rough, dear. Let me get you some stew and some bread and another mug of ale. Think it over. And he steps away.
We're obviously going to do it, right?
Yeah. Dez will kind of quietly communicate to you guys what he said.
What do you communicate, Desmond?
Via message?
Yeah, via the message spell, he's gonna tell you both. I'll have to do you one at a time, but the guy's name, how he described him, and how he wants us to get rid of him.
Okay.
Well, to be clear, he did not specify who it was that he wanted gone.
No.
Right.
He just said it was kind of
They're bad dude.
a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, we kind of need to know how difficult it will be, you know, to help him with his request. Because what if it's not something we can do? Or what if we are trapped here forever trying to fulfill his quest?
What if we say no, though? We're never going to get the information we need. All we have is a name right now. Maybe this fiend will not work with anyone that's just rando from the street.
Right, and we need to think about what kind of bargain we're willing to make with said fella. Given his nature, I think you might know what they deal in, typically.
No, what do they deal in?
Dezel message to Xanthi. They want your soul. They're going to want a bargain for your soul. And I personally don't want to part with mine. Because I've read some books and it doesn't end well.
Those, right?
Yes. Generally, you want to keep it intact.
Not like, you know, a pinky finger or something. That it's just like kind of a problem.
Well, and he'll cast message again. Well, it's like, you know, if you want to spend the rest of your everlasting afterlife as a servant to one of these fiends, then sell your soul.
I don't like that either. It seems like a lot of ways we can just stay here forever.
This is just one of the ingredients as well. This is not going to be very easy, and I don't expect it to, but what if we have to make deals with these kinds of people for every item?
I mean, we should be so lucky.
We don't have any of those things, right?
I mean, we have pinkies and souls, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Probably where Alrin would step in and say, I was told around the fire last night that we have something that I've never heard of, an Eclipsian shard. We already have it,
yeah.
the Vistani said.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
And she gestures at the bag.
The shard from the meteor. Leave it in there for now.
What do you mean shard from what meteor?
It's before your time, Alrin.
Yeah, it's before we met you, but a little bit before we met you that we had an
the first apocalypse that we stopped. It was one of the things that we found lying around afterwards. That and the seed of evil that we gave away.
Long story short, a cult was trying to resurrect a dead god of death, and we stopped it from happening.
What is it with you people and gods of death?
Be given to a random person. It was a safe place we put that seed.
Oh.
So,
to be fair,
it keeps
happening everywhere we go.
It
seems to follow us.
Yeah, it's like we're the chosen ones or something.
Maybe you are.
That's weird.
That could be good though, right? I mean,
it's not the worst.
How many chosen ones could there possibly be?
Yes, it's specific to what they're chosen for.
Well, there is one in the title, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, but they, you know, like it could be like the chosen one to be the best baker, the chosen one to like own the tailor shop.
What about the chosen one that has the shadow sword?
Yeah, like.
That's a good point. I think that's kind of what they called her.
Well, I've had some names. I haven't. Who's called me the Chosen One?
I just did.
Well, but you're just Allred.
Isn't that good enough?
I mean, that's great. I'll go by Chosen One. If you want. I think we're getting off topic though. We have one. Sounds like of the 5 items. We have 4 other items. I really thought this one wasn't going to be this difficult.
Yeah, and we also, like, I mean, keep an eye out on somebody who looks, like, super heroic. Right?
They'll need something. I mean, heroes still need things too.
Well, right.
We just have to be prepared for this. I'm not trying to talk us out of it at all. In fact, I'm more gung-ho than any of us here, I think, for this whole thing to happen. But we need to be prepared for these kinds of things. And I think we need to be ready to say yes to whatever they ask. I'm ready to make a deal with a fiend if I need to for this.
Nori, you can't do that.
Well, I mean, come on, we gotta have some standards.
You don't have to do this. I have to do this. I guess I'm the chosen one.
Yeah, but, you know, like, you have to make it to the end of this quest, for sure, and then we need to get home. Right?
Maybe. My goal might be a little earlier than getting home.
Well, I mean, you're looking for your brother, but you don't want to be stuck with your brother here in the after.
I don't want that.
Life.
No, I'm not saying that that would be a great thing. I'm just saying that we should be prepared to say yes to deals that sound terrible to get what we want.
No,
Well, maybe we could be really clever and, you know, not
Loophole?
maybe.
It seems like, this is Alrin talking, it seems like making deals with otherworldly entities has gotten us into a lot of trouble.
Has it?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that why we're here? I mean, it's not all about Doc Shoulder gifting tiers to tier 1 subs to a bunch of people. Thank you so much, Doc. You can only gift so many tier 1 subs.
That's true.
I mean,
Okay.
like,
Yep.
So if we didn't make the deal and get the introduction, then what are you guys suggesting we do to get this?
You know, I could just steal it.
There you go.
How many do they have? It looks like they got a few. Maybe they could spare one.
2 dozen
They
at least.
can't. They said they couldn't. They said this was just. Do you think that he was lying to us?
The thing I worry about is what if it's like, what if these flames are keeping this place afloat, as it
I mean, yeah, but also we won't be able to come back here if we steal something from them, so that's not good either.
Bring it back when we're done.
Maybe if anything, we'll save it for last.
Well, okay, so that's like plan B.
And do it upstairs so it never leaves the inn, never leaves the tavern.
But do you notice how they flicker when Jarl talks? Do you think they're like
Bound to him.
zoned into his vibe or something? I don't know, some say attuned, but I'm gonna call it zoned into his vibe.
Well, you know, he also
He's
said
gonna
like they
know.
weren't really like his, so it's not like he gave his soul for one of these things.
He comes back over at this moment as you kind of all, oh, here he comes. And he drops a couple of steaming bowls of stew in front of you. They look heaped over as if a nice big meal, additional ales being set down, and he just confirms that you're spending the night, which will be 5 gold per person, which includes the stew and the room. And then he says, is there anything I can get for you? Anything else?
Oh, have you seen anybody around here who looks like, oh, I don't know, a hero that's pure of heart?
Pure of heart. Let me see. He looks over across. No, not that fucker.
Yeah, right?
Des will pay for the rooms and stuff.
Okay. You set the coins down. As he's looking about, you set the coins on the table. He doesn't even look. He just reaches out and grabs the coin, pulls it nonchalantly, and puts it below the table, the bar, and he looks around. It's certainly not Garten. The fucker's bleeding all over the place.
You know what happened to him?
Super cursed.
He's not very talkative about his situation.
He's cursed.
That's what I've heard.
All he does is bleed. Cursed. He just bleeds all over the place.
What did he do to get cursed?
You'd have to ask him. I don't know. But he comes in here and he drinks and he bleeds and he drinks and he bleeds. I charge him a little extra for the upkeep. Look at the rags. He goes through so many rags. I don't know. Look at that one right there. You look over and you see he's gesturing to this tall, gaunt human. Tattered looking. He looks dead. But not incorporeal like a ghost. He looks more like a zombie. Or like a physical undead manifestation of what he once was. He has a chest plate that has a symbol that appears to be moon-like in motif. And he walks past Spug Noir, who just looks up as he walks past and looks over at you and is like, just kind of waves. And then Yarrow looks back at you. Can't say for sure, but it's possible.
Any specific person that you might think was a doomed wanderer? Like more than others?
All of them.
I know, right?
Do any of them cry? Like, just actively
seems
cry?
Like really sad, but you know, can you cry as a ghost? Have you seen a ghost cry?
Come to think of it, most of the people when they're in here seem to be at least satisfied in some way. But there are manifestations of apparitions about the landscape. Just down the road, in fact, there's an old battlefield where men and elves and dwarves and gnomes are slain repeatedly, fighting for their afterlives against orcs and goblins and horrible creatures.
How repeatedly are you, like every day?
Don't know.
They do.
There's a family of ghosts, picnickers, had their heads bashed in. A family, 2 children, mother and father.
Yeah, they didn't seem sad, really.
Desmond, you remember sadness when you touched that woman's hand and saw her death.
Yeah, but I mean more like, you know, like crying or, you know, whatever, not just like, oh, it's a horrible thing has happened.
I'll tell you, the saddest person in this goddamn place is your friend over there. At least you've settled up his tab.
Yeah, so did the other patrons Do they just keep tabs, or why?
Oh, they're all running up their tabs too. Eventually, payment comes due.
What if they can't pay with coin?
Well, there's other ways to pay.
Like what?
Well, like their eternal souls. What else? Oh.
Right.
Obviously.
What do you do with them when they give you an eternal soul?
I pay them up. I have to cover my own expenses as well.
What do you do with the soul?
I use them as currency just like everyone else does, miss.
So someone buys them from you.
Well, some go to Granny Morgan for her pies. Some go for tax. We're all peddling in souls around here. Sorry if that's a surprise to you.
I mean...
Des is just quickly eating his stew now.
I've never met anyone who dealt in souls specifically.
Well, the name's Jarl. Pleasure to meet you, dear.
The pleasure is yours. Okay.
Indeed.
Gosh. No, you didn't have to give your soul when you got.
Now you're just getting a wee bit personal. Is there anything else I can help you with before I tend to me other patrons?
No, I think we're good for now.
We'll probably ask you more things later, but for now, the stew and a place to sleep is gonna be enough.
Just let me know if you want me to make a introduction between you and the one who wields the flame.
Was there an expiration date on your offer?
We'll leave a tab open for a bit longer.
Okay.
He steps away to tend bar for other patrons. The place seems to be picking up. There's more people here now than there were before. Again, you never saw the door open. You never felt the draft of any air or anything like that. It's just like they showed up out of nothing. You look around, you can see the gnomish fellow with the bleeding bandana around his neck. He seems highly agitated. You see Spugnoir sitting scribbling. He looks up again and just kind of waves as you kind of survey the tavern space. A number of other patrons, including the one wearing the chest plate with the moon-like symbols on it, as well as others.
You think we should talk to the bleeding fella over there? Maybe.
All right.
You know, I don't really know if he's like.
I did talk to him.
Or...
He seemed like he had done some bad things, and well, he's fucking cursed. I know that much. He told me about 6 times.
I could hear him from across the bar. Or he was
Something about being doomed.
Yeah, and doomed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should talk to that person with the moon symbol on there.
I mean, that's isn't that the Vistani symbol?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought too. It looked like.
Des is gonna turn around and glance.
What makes you say that it's a Vistani symbol?
The moon?
There was a moon symbol on the scroll.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we were given that scroll by the Vistani, and that's why we think it's a Vistani symbol.
Got it.
But
okay.
Yeah.
but that seems like maybe not true.
Well, no, I mean, it is on the scroll for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, just double checking. All right, so is there anything that you'd like to do as we kind of wind down the session here? We can certainly dig into something and go a little longer if you want to investigate something or talk to someone. Otherwise, we could sort of call it here and discuss amongst yourselves over the coming week to kind of figure out where to go next. But I'm open to whatever you'd like to do. What do you think, Xanthi? What would you like to do?
I mean, just kind of, yeah, talk to the guy with the breastplate, see if there's any other people at the bar, kind of like ask them, you know, if they were a hero in life, or if they've seen a hero, or if they've seen anybody crying, or like, you know, a doomed wanderer kind of thing, more specific than everybody looks like one. Just to try to get some leads on different things, or if anybody's, you know, seen the Shriven cycle cult.
Okay, that's a lot. All right, that's a lot right there. You just kind of you just laundry listed. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we talk to the guy with the symbol? Okay,
that sounds good. I will say this, one thing that we can adjudicate quickly is you start to mingle a little bit. You definitely see that Spug Noir is like very excited to like have you guys talk to him, but he's not getting up from the table, but he's very much like trying to make sure you notice him. You talk to Xanthi. We'll say that you end up talking with a couple of people. You first talk with a woman, the woman that I mentioned who has raven black hair. She appears to be neither a ghost nor undead. She doesn't appear to have any wounds on her at all. She's wearing simple black leather armor, and she has a bandolier of knives that's slung over her shoulder. And when you ask her if she knows any heroes, she just scoffs at you and like laughs and just talks about how she's no hero. She's killed many people, and that's why she's doomed to walk these Shadowlands. And she talks to you about how she continually meets upon the road those that she has killed in her previous life, and that is her penance upon this plane. She knows nothing of the Shriven sickle and can't really help you very much, but she seems like a total badass, and she doesn't even really seem to be remorseful. She's more so annoyed that she's here and having to deal with these people that she's already killed. It's like, I've already killed these people once. Why do I have to deal with them again? You talk with a couple of other patrons that don't really tell you a whole lot about the Shriven sickle. They do mention when you ask about mournful crying apparitions, or they talk about a strange procession that they've seen near the Dead Man's Cross of pilgrims, and they could swear that some of those pilgrims were sobbing or crying as they were being encouraged to keep moving by some unseen torment. Okay. Desmond, you see Spug Noir like trying to get your attention.
How are you doing?
Hey, I've been waiting for you guys. And he goes into his spiel. He is definitely caught in some sort of a loop where he talks about he's been waiting for you. Do you have a spell book? You know, that whole thing. We won't go through all of that again, but he's definitely like caught in this thing. He talks about how he thinks he saw Norb, and he gets very maudlin about it, and, you know, sort of somber as he talks about Norb. And you can tell that he, you know, which he expressed in an earlier episode when you first ran into him here, like his love for Norb, you know, like that he really had a lot of big feels connected with that individual, as many of us did. So you have that conversation, and he does get a little somber about it, and then you are also going to communicate with this other individual with the chest plate. Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody going to get in on that conversation? I would assume.
This is the moon guy.
Yeah.
The moon. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you walk up to him as he's sitting at a table drinking a mug of ale. Again, gaunt, tattered clothing, blood-stained. He has, visible wounds on his body that are seeping blood, but they don't seem to bother him at all. You get the sense, and I would say, Nori, you can probably tell just based on your background and the experiences that you had, that this man is undead, some sort of undead. He has this rather elegant, though worn and battered chest plate. Upon it, a symbol of a moon that is almost an exact replication of the moon symbol that's on the scroll case that you have in your pocket.
Other than the scroll, would Des recognize the symbol from anywhere?
No, definitely not. This is not. I mean, you've seen. Well, I would say this. You run through your mind thinking of different moon motifs that have been used. That have been used in art, or that have been used in architecture. And sure, there are certain elements of celestial bodies that you can think of, but doesn't jump out at you as, oh, this is that thing. Mm-hmm. You don't get a strong intuition that this is anything specific to something that you're familiar with.
I mean, can we ask them?
Yeah, so they are sitting there drinking a mug of ale as the three of you approach. He looks up at you. If you're looking for conversation, I'm not the most vigorous conversationalist, but feel free to sit if you care to. Your friend over there looks pretty eager to talk with you, though. Nice fella, as he points over to Spug Noir.
Very
He's
nice.
a sweet man.
We were curious about the symbol on your breastplate. The moon?
Oh yes. Sometimes I forget. It's been a long time since someone has noticed. I mean, Jarl always notices. He knows what I like to drink. But typically I sit here by myself and, well, I was once a member of the Order of the Shadow Moon.
Shadow Moon? Is that an order of the Shadowlands? Or were you shadow born?
Indeed, miss, you seem to know much. It is an order that was once devoted to the Queen of Shadow. I pledged my life to her service. Give me intelligence rolls, please.
Not great.
Desmond, what'd you get?
6.
Okay, Xanthi?
21.
Woo!
Nori?
13.
Okay. Xanthi, as you're processing this information, the Order of the Shadow Moon is something you've heard of. Specifically, when you encountered General Zelenko Vasilov Todorov at the Dead Man's Cross, he introduced himself as General of the Order of the Shadow Moon. This individual goes on, my name is Thornton. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sure you give him some sort of introduction to yourselves as he continues with his story. The knights were pledged to protect the balance of the Shadowlands, fully devoted and pledged to the Queen of Shadow. Founded centuries ago by the first of her line. I was trained among the warriors to uphold that balance and repel attacks from other domains of dread. General Todorov was my leader, but something changed. The queen was overthrown in a coup orchestrated by her lover. The Order of the Shadow Moon was caught in betwixt. Caught in the maelstrom of betrayal and broken heart. And as the queen's power diminished in that moment, the dark magic of the usurper seeped into the order, corrupting my brethren, my brothers in arms, my general. The knights of the Order of the Shadow Moon, once paragons of balance and justice, twisted into brutal enforcers of her will. Clouded minds, loyalties rent asunder, souls tainted by her malevolent influence. Those who chose to serve the usurper were empowered. Those who did not were killed. I could not pledge myself to that evil. Yet somehow here I am, eternally cursed. But at least I'm not forced to serve her. Shit. I'm so sorry. I've been blabbering on far too long. Tell me, where are you from?
Down. I actually found your story was very, we're very sympathetic to it.
Be careful with your sympathies. They can do much to, well, get you killed or worse in a place like this. Keep your loyalties to yourself. Or end up like me, stout of heart, but cursed to eternity.
I mean, would you consider yourself a hero pure of heart?
I suppose one could say that. I was presented with a choice, as were the others. Not all of us gave in to the usurper's corruption.
Well, you chose not to betray your vow to the queen.
Aye.
That was pretty brave.
He slams his tankard on the table. Aye. And I would do it again the same.
So you're saying you would valiantly give your blood to make sure that the queen was Reed?
You'd willingly give your lifeblood to free your queen.
I would do whatever it took. I would shed my blood. I would part with the very essence of my soul to set things straight in this forsaken land.
You don't have any blood, do you? Anymore?
It seems like a weird question, but it will
That's a
prove
very
relevant in a
weird
minute.
question.
We're weird people.
Is it of my blood that you are so curious of?
At this point, Des is going to cast message to the guy and say, this one here carries the sword, the queen's sword, and we're trying to free her. Your blood might help that. You can respond to this message.
He responds, when this conversation is done, meet me in the courtyard, and we will talk freely. As he says that, Desmond, you get this very foreboding sense of like almost like a hot flash. Like you get hot as if something weird just happened. And as you scan quickly the room, you see Spug Noir just kind of like, and then past Spug Noir, you see in the corner this tar-like shape, almost humanoid in nature, that you had been looking for earlier, that seems to have suddenly appeared in the corner of this house of black lanterns. And I think this is where we will end tonight's session, with the decision to be made to conclude this conversation. And perhaps if you are brave enough to step outside with this warrior of the Order of the Shadow Moon to see what other information he might have for you. And I will say thank you to my players and all of the great folks that have joined us this evening for another episode of Heroes of Greyhawk. This is a very interesting exploration of the bonds that one makes to serve a master. Whether those bonds were specifically accepted without any sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Strings attached.
Well, strings attached, or, you know, sometimes people will make deals that they have full control over, and sometimes deals are foisted upon people unknowingly. And it's unclear what this perhaps might be, but I think we're going to find out in short order, because this is heading towards something very dangerous and very exciting. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us and spending some time here with Guild Superior. We have been playing Heroes of Greyhawk as the campaign that we've been running for a couple of years now. And we really appreciate you stopping by. Let's go around the table and do some quick outros. Let's start with Shelly, our Hexblade Warlock. Shelly playing, of course, Nori Bibblespark.
Nori Bibblespark. Hey, y'all. It's Shelly, also known as Flea Monkey, also known as Hey, It's Flea Monkey out in the world, specifically Instagram and Threads. Mostly Instagram, however. You can find me here every Tuesday night, and really not too much else until next Tuesday. So this is where you see this. I'm having a really fun time with this scary ass world. I'm so excited we finally got to this. Thanks for, what did I say last week? Turning my kernel of corn into a cornfield of death or something. It is
something like that.
Flippin' fabulous.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. This has been very fun. Let's jump over to Ashley.
I'm Ashley. You may know me as Minnesota Muse, and you can find me as Minnesota Muse on our Discord or on Blue Sky or as Minnesota Muse 99 on Threads. This is the only place that you can find me right now, so you'll have to come back and see me next Tuesday.
Same time.
Same bat
Same
channel.
pad. Oh, we got the same script. Ashley, I love having you in this campaign because you asked some very good questions of the NPCs that are sometimes hard for them to answer. And but you guys are doing some great digging here, and there's lots more to dig into. So I'm excited to see what you guys find out about this place. Let's jump over to Andy G3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G3D here on Twitch. Yes, you can find me here every Tuesday night playing Dez, digging into these mysteries of these Shadowlands, and yeah, having another great game. So thank you, Dave.
You got it, pal.
Everybody, thanks for the subs and everything tonight.
Dude, totally. Doc Shoulder coming in strong with some gift subs. Thank you so much, Doc. Thanks to everybody who followed us tonight. We really, really appreciate the support. What we do is when you support us, we get to turn around and support folks like Tabletop Audio, who we support their Patreon so that we can use their fantastic audio tracks for our background music and ambience. I'm going to put links in there. We get to support folks like Anna Meyer, who has a Patreon. Anna is creating these fantastic freaking maps of Greyhawk that are absolutely ridiculous, modeling climate and the geologic change of the plates of Earth. I mean, it's crazy. Those are the types of people that we get to support and give us inspiration because you support us. So thank you very much for that. If you are not following us, please consider a follow. And if you are following, consider a sub. Thank you everyone for hanging out. We're going to go ahead and raid into our friends over at, we raided into these folks last week, I think. Where did they go? Let's see here. Blue Cottage D&D is just getting ready to end. Okay, hold on. You know what? Vancouver by Night. We're going to raid into our friends over at Vancouver by Night.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that we give them some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love. They deserve it. They're making some awesome content over there. And guys, it's all about creativity and good vibes, and that's what we're trying to do here. So help support our friends. Give them some good old-fashioned love. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.